what's the difference between a PBN and a normal site? And the longer I stay in SEO, the longer that this question is like harder for me to answer because I mean, I guess it would come down to intent, right? The PBN site, their whole intent is to pass link juice, to make money, to increase rankings or whatever. But if you just come and you look at Business Insider here, I could see people, for example, maybe if someone purchased a guest post from us and we put it on a site that looked exactly like this, but it wasn't Business Insider, I could see getting a complaint and them saying, this isn't a real site. This is just a PBN. Look at it, just doesn't look real. It just has all this crap, this new like articles that are being posted on the front page all the time. Um, I mean, it's really hard for me to tell the difference between and I guess it should be because then that means that we're doing our job correctly of building PBNs the way that they should be built, which is basically just, it's a blog roll site. Um, you know, I think that there's just really not much of a difference between, something like a legitimate site like businessinsider.com or even a site that's only selling guest posts, just a link farm site versus even just a kind of high quality PBN that used something that wasn't like, an outdated WordPress builder from the 90s or something. I mean, this is just a very simple kind of layout blog roll type site that just has a bunch of seemingly random stuff posted all the time, right? Do you have anything to add on that, Nick? Just kind of on my little tangent.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing you're going to see that's the difference is going to be the content quality, right?
Hmm.
PBN is going to have
For
cheaper
sure.
quality content. But what, I've talked about before is that the modern PBN, in order for it to be sustainable and effective, operates more like a lower end guest post type of network than it does an actual PBN. Because historically PBNs were ripping content or doing every corner cutting thing that you could possibly do to just get that link in there and forward that juice. And so they've come a long way, like if you talk about our PBN, when I first started in PBNs, my PBNs didn't look real. They were just like WordPress, almost no images, just throw some fun content up maybe and add some backlinks. And for a while that worked, right? But over time, there's, this evolution has kind of happened. And when I look at our PBNs now, yeah, they're hard to distinguish, between real blogs. Like, you look at Business Insider, very popular blog, but yeah, they look and operate and feel that way, right? So it makes sense for the PBNs to do the same thing. And so, uh, yeah, now at a glance, it'd be harder, and even when reading the articles, you'll note that uh, the language, and I'm specifically talking about our PBN, the language isn't on par to something that you would read on Business Insider. However, it is somewhat researched and it, does have, informative qualities. And when you're looking at it from a perspective of insulating a PBN, Google has to know 100% that the site in question is, sole existence is for manipulation purposes. And if it can't do that beyond a reasonable doubt, then it exists, maybe it gets knocked down as far as like the power level, that it can supply, but it can't get de-indexed, right? And so, if you look at our PBN, there's no spun content, there's no reused content, etc., and it's actually a higher quality content than you're going to find on most PBNs. Why? Specifically for the purpose of insulating. There's an immense amount of value in building a PBN, and it's very expensive to build and maintain. So spending the extra money to make sure that it's of higher quality is definitely worthwhile, and that's why we do those things. But yeah, hard to tell the difference if it's a more modern PBN.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I think. just the more I think about it, is just the harder it gets to really, especially just visually, just a lot of these like huge websites, it's just a blog roll. It just looks like a link farm. But I mean, that's just the internet. So I guess link farms, link farms
Yeah,
look
that's
like
what I was
the
going to
real
say.
stuff rather than the real stuff looking like the
Well,
link farm. So
it's basically all link farms anyway, because I mean, you look at these big websites, they're controlled by news media conglomerates and crap like that, and it's like, yeah, they're putting out the content that they need marketed,
yeah,
right?
that's
It's just a higher level of the same shit that the bottom tiers are doing.
absolutely. And if you
It's
if
just a
you
different
think
game.
that Business Insider isn't getting paid to do puff pieces on
Yeah,
whatever news stories or organizations or whatever,
or that they don't use affiliate links.
yeah, they are 100%, and they're
Yeah,
100% doing the exact same thing. It's just
I think like one of the most expensive websites I remember seeing that got sold was Wirecutter, right? For like think it was like $28 million or something like that. And I think it cost them like $5 million to build it ground up, right? But it's essentially just like a high-end affiliate website. But you can dumb down those content pieces as much as you want. And it just be considered a different tier of work, but same principles.
yes, sir. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links to our blog for more info on this topic, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thanks and happy ranking.